Find the total surface area of the eighth of a sphere. Okay, this is an eighth of a sphere. And, okay, so when you originally see it, it looks something like this on the program. Okay, probably like that. And so, but you should play around with these things a little bit just to get an idea of their size and, you know, what they really look like. Okay, so play around with the shape. You know, try and get an idea of what it really looks like in your head, right? Okay, so I like looking at them transparent and then, you know, with the different colors, just so I can get a really good idea of what the shape really is all about. Okay, so now I'm going to go do my calculations. So I want to find the total surface area, and to find the total surface area, I'm looking at the rounded bits, like the outside of it. Okay, this is like if you have an orange and you cut the orange in half, and then you cut the half into 4 pieces. Okay, so that's 1/8 of a sphere in total. Okay, so then you end up with the parts, you know, that have the orange peel. Okay, so that's the round bits, and then you have the parts that have been sliced. Okay, those are the flat bits. Okay, and you end up with 3 flat bits. Okay, let's just have a look at those. Okay, and there they are. So, and each one is a quarter of a circle. Okay, so that's a quarter of a circle, that's a quarter of a circle. So those are your 3 flat bits, and altogether they make 3/4 of a circle. So if you rotate it this way, you can kind of really, you know, see the shape. I'm just going to make that solid for a second. Okay, so you can see that it's 1/4 of a circle, and that there are 3 of them. Okay, let me just rotate it this way. Okay, so there are 3 of them, and we can see there's one, there's the other quarter, and then the other one is way down here. Okay, there we go. I'm just going to rotate it so we can see all 3 at the same time. So 3/4 of a circle. And so that's the flat bits, and the round bits, we just have 1/8 of the surface area of a sphere. Okay, so 1/8 of the total surface area of a sphere plus 3/4 of a circle. So the total surface area of a sphere is 4 pi r squared. So we have 1/8 times 4 pi r squared plus 3/4 pi r squared. Okay, so the 1/8 times 4 becomes 4/8. Okay, and we can reduce that all the way down to a half. But if I keep my common denominator, I end up getting 2/4, right? So I can rewrite my 1/8 times 4 as 4/8, which I can reduce to 2/4. Okay, and the reason I'm reducing it only to 2/4 as opposed to, you know, like 1/2 is so that it'll add nicely to the 3/4. Okay, so I have 2/4 pi r squared plus 3/4 pi r squared. It's like having 2/4 of a chicken and 3/4 of a chicken. Altogether you have 5/4 of a chicken, right? So we're going to do that. So 2/4 plus 3/4, 5/4. Okay, which is 1 1/4, by the way. So we have 5/4 pi r squared. Okay, so we have 1/4 more than a full circle. Okay, and that's it. 5/4 pi r squared. Now I'm just going to use my handy dandy calculator, and let's clear that. So 5/4. Just move that over here. So 5 divided by 4 times pi times the radius, 3.81 to the power of 2 equals. Okay, so 57 point whatever. So 57 point, I'm just going to round this to like 4 or 5 decimal places. I picked 5 decimal places. And so the 1 tells the 9 to round down. So you're leaving the 9, okay? And there we go, there's my answer. So I'm going to go and plug that in and see what the computer thinks of that. So I'm just going to round it up to the 9. And space, centimeters squared. There's the square button. Yay! Okay, and that's it. Have a good day.